I asked Claude Fable 5 and GPT 5.6 Sol to build me an entire business, research the market, find a real problem, build the working software, and write the sales page. The same prompt word for word. Both of them went and did it, and both of them came back with a working product. But before either of them wrote a single line, they each had to go and answer one question. Where do I look to find out what people actually need? Claude went to forums where people complain, and GPT went to McKinsey, the OECD, and the NIST. And I'm telling you, that one choice made in the first 5 minutes decided everything that came after it. The problem they picked, the product they built, which one of them would actually make you money. Oh, and one of them wrote down a number in its report, claiming it had tested its own work. I didn't believe it for a second, so I went to catch it lying. I'll come back to that because it did not go how I expected. So same prompt and two models. And by the end, you'll know which one to hand your next build to and why. Let's get into it. So here's where Fable went. Real N8N forum threads. People complaining, and it found this one. Someone describing exactly what ruins them. Automations fail silently. No alert, no error, nothing. The runs just quietly stop, and the client notices before the agency does. And that's the one that actually kills you, isn't it? Not that the automation broke, but that it broke quietly, and your client found out first. Now here's where Sol went. The OECD, NIST's AI risk-related framework. McKinsey's State of AI, a peer-reviewed paper with 3,700 respondents. Impeccable sources, genuinely. If you handed me that reading list, I'd say good job. But notice what you get from each. Forums give you a pain, and McKinsey gives you a category. You go to a forum, you find one furious person with one specific problem. You go to a consulting report and you find a trend, a thing that is broadly true of everyone and specifically true of no one. And that's exactly what came back. So Fable went ahead and built Proofline. You add one webhook to your automations. Every time one runs, it pings the system. And two things happen. You catch the silent failures before the client does, and every run turns into a dollar figure that you can put in front of them at renewal. That's the renewal call right there on a screen. And Sol built Ledger AI, a register where a company logs every AI project, the owner, the cost, the risk level, and the review date. Now look at those two products and ask one question. What does each of them need from a human being? Fables needs nothing. You wire it up once, a webhook fires by itself forever. Nobody types anything ever again. And Sol's is a form. Someone has to sit down and fill it in, and then keep filling it in. Every project, every month, forever. You cannot spend an hour reading angry forum posts and come away thinking what these people need is another form to maintain. You only build that if your entire picture of the problem came from a PDF. And here's the part that made me put my coffee down. Sol wrote a strategy document to go with its product, and it's good. It's twice as long as Claude's. Pricing tiers with reasoning, sales channels, discovery questions, retention metrics, a 5-phase roadmap. It even flags that the product name isn't trademark cleared yet. Hand me that as a consulting deliverable, and I'd be impressed. And then near the back, there's a section called Risks. In its own words, Ledger AI depends on maintained records, data entry fatigue. It knew that the thing that kills this product is that human beings will not keep filling in the form. It wrote it down in its own document, and then it shipped the form anyway, and suggested reminders. It read the research. The research said people don't maintain records. That's in the OECD paper. It's in the McKinsey report. So it knew it as a fact. But it never heard anyone say it. Nobody ever swore at it. And so it wrote a brilliant document about the problem instead of building for the person who has it. A quick word from this video's sponsor, me. This is basically what I do. I go into a business, I find the thing that's actually costing them, and I build the AI system that solves it. So if you're stuck working in your business instead of on it, there's a link in the description to work with me directly. And if you'd rather just build it yourself, the school community is down there too. 40 plus plug and play automations ready to go. Alright, now back to it. Now for the number that I promised you. Fable's document has a section called verification, all performed, not assumed. It says it fired 2 test events into its own system, then checked the client-facing portal against the database directly. And it says the numbers matched exactly. 856. I didn't believe it. That is the exact shape of a hallucination. A specific figure with total confidence, and nobody's ever going to check it. So I checked. A fresh database. And the biggest line in there, total runs 854, not 856. Gotcha. Except 3 paragraphs earlier, it said it fired 2 test events while it was testing, 1 success and 1 failure. So it did the work, it wrote the number down, and that number reconciles to the digit with the procedure described 3 paragraphs earlier against a database it generated itself. And you can't fake that. And look at what that actually is. It's the same instinct turned inwards. When Fable wanted to know if its own work was any good, it went and looked. It didn't assume. It ran it, checked the number, and handed me something I could verify in 90 seconds. Soul's version of that section is a list of tests it suggests I run myself. And you won't run them. I know you won't, because I didn't want to either. Which means the risk just got quietly moved from the model onto you, and you won't find out until a client does. One of them goes and looks, and the other one assumes. That's true of how it researched the market, and it's true of how it checked its own homework. It's the same model, doing the same thing twice. Now there's 2 important disclaimers. 1, this is a single test, 1 prompt and 1 run each. It isn't a lab study, so I encourage you to run it yourself and you might land somewhere else. And 2, Soul didn't lie, and it isn't stupid. Everything in its document is true. The code works, the security is fine, and on pure business strategy, you could say it's better than Fable. The roadmap is better than anything Fable wrote. And it's about 4 times cheaper. So this isn't one is good, one is bad. It's that they went looking in different places, and you should know which one you're using. Now this whole test lies on that one factor, where they looked. Claude went to forums, and GPT went to institutions. Claude found a pain, and GPT found a category. Claude built something that needs nothing from a human, one webhook that fires forever, and GPT built a form that somebody has to keep filling it in, because it never met anybody who would have to fill it in. And what they did with their own work, which is that Claude went and checked and left me a number, GPT assumed and left me a to-do list. It's the same behavior every single time. One of them goes and looks, and the other one reads about it. So here's the thing to actually take away, and you can use it today on any of these models. Before you let it build anything, ask it one question. Where are you going to look? If it tells you that it's going to review the literature, the reports, the best practices, you're going to get a category, beautifully argued, but nobody wants it. If it goes where people are actually complaining, the forums, the reviews, the support tickets, the Slack messages, you're going to get a pain, and pains are what people pay to make stop. Because a strategy document has never made anyone any money. Somebody being furious about something and you being the one who fixed it, that's the business. Claude went and found somebody furious, and that is the whole difference.